Track weather.
Coming up next on Good Morning El Paso. The community says goodbye to Dick Poe today. The car dealer and El Paso icon will be laid to rest. Also,
and I open my eyes and I just see blood, basically blood falling from my nose and mouth.
The man beaten by Las Cruces police officers is speaking out. Why just seeing an officer sends him into a panic attack.
And we continue our complete coverage of El Paso children's filing for bankruptcy. A look at how much it's costing you, the taxpayer.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
And good morning. We are starting your Thursday with a look out from our ABC7 mountain cam. Look at that thick blanket of clouds already over the borderland.
Looks really nice out there. It is going to be a little cooler today than yesterday. We could even see some rain, according to Crystal. We'll check in with her, but in the meantime, welcome back to Good Morning El Paso, everyone. I'm Hillary Floren.
And I'm Stephanie Valle. It is 6:01, and like we said, on your Thursday. And of course, we want to get right to Crystal talking about our rain chances today.
And we do have a shot at some showers a little later on. The moisture is obviously already in place. That live look outside, Stephanie said it, a blanket of clouds over us. Those cloudy conditions are going to last throughout today. Here's a look at our clouds and radar map. It's not just us dealing with the clouds. Most of our region now with cloudiness. And off to the east of us, some light scattered rain showers trying to pick up. Those rain showers and moisture will start to come our direction a bit later on this afternoon. As for your temperatures, right now we're at 63 degrees in El Paso. Our relative humidity at 71%. We certainly have the moisture there. Over to Las Cruces, our temperature also sitting right now at 60 degrees. Winds 11 miles per hour, although some of us right up against the west side of mountains particularly are looking at higher wind speeds thanks to that cold front passage this morning. Interestingly enough, the cold front is actually going to hit right around the El Paso Las Cruces area and linger there today, which creates a boundary between some drier and more moist air that can also sometimes lead to thunderstorms developing. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
Okay, thank you so much, Crystal. Happening today, the leader of a car dealership empire will be laid to rest. Friends and family will gather for the funeral of Dick Poe. Good morning, El Paso's Denise Olivas is live with the details. Denise.
Good morning, Stephanie. I think many El Pasoans can agree when I say that the only time that I ever talked back to the television was when I would say, "Hi, Dick," and that was in response to Dick Poe's commercials that were on almost every single channel here in local television. Well, the 81-year-old Dick Poe died last weekend, but today he is remembered for the legacy that he leaves behind. Dick Poe got into car sales early on, learning the business from his grandfather, A.B. Poe, who started the company in 1928. Dick Poe then took over the family business in the 1960s and now employs more than 300 people. For the last 40 years, Dick Poe made his way into our living rooms with his signature commercials that featured local El Pasoans and, of course, members of the community. Dick Poe leaves behind 2 sons. His burial is today at 2 p.m. at Evergreen Cemetery. That's located at 4301 Alameda. So not only was Dick Poe known for carrying on the family business, but his son told us that he always enjoyed giving back to the community and never wanted anything in return, not even the recognition. For now, we're live in Central El Paso. Denise Olivas, ABC7.
Thanks so much, Denise. ABC7 is uncovering new details on the bankruptcy filing of the El Paso Children's Hospital. Children's claims it's being overcharged by University Medical Center. It claims there's an overcharge of $27 million for the facility lease, $14 million more for hospital services. Children's also claims UMC never paid back $15 million that Children's was supposed to get for the El Paso First Health Insurance Program. Children's is now requesting that a lien UMC put on Children's be voided and wants to restrain UMC from terminating agreements for services. A UMC said in a statement it disagrees with virtually all of the allegations presented by Children's. The first court hearing is set for today in Austin. This is all obviously the result of failed negotiations between the two hospitals, and it appears that trust was a main concern here. UMC Board Chair Steve DeGros says he's not sure El Paso Children's entered this process with a desire to actually see it work. But Children's CEO Mark Herbers said they had every intention of working things out, but it was UMC that couldn't be worked with.
If you own property in El Paso County, you've been paying each month for the debt incurred to build the Children's Hospital. In 2007, voters approved selling $120.2 million in bonds to pay for its construction. A taxpayer in a $100,000 home will have paid $118 by the end of this month toward the debt. The cost was added to your UMC tax bill in October 2008. We've paid $47.7 million, but $41.9 million of it went to interest. Only $5.7 million went toward the principal. So we have $116 million yet to go. And new this morning, we're learning that 2 more Children's Board members are calling it quits. The El Paso Times is reporting that Tom Speasney and Christopher Kleberg have resigned. The first to step down was Sam Legate. He's been on the board since the very beginning. Legate resigned the same day the bankruptcy was announced. He told ABC7 he just can't dedicate the time needed as the hospital undergoes bankruptcy. He also added that he supports board chair Rosemary Castillo. ABC7 stopped by Castillo's office seeking comment about the bankruptcy filing. Her assistant told us she would not be available for the next few days.
A man beaten while in Las Cruces police custody says news of the officer's firing is a minor victory in a large war. Officers Richard Garcia and Danny Salcido were caught on tape beating Ross Flynn while he was handcuffed and in custody last Christmas. Flynn suffered a fractured skull and a cracked cheekbone and rib. He filed a $12.5 million civil lawsuit against the department, and the Doña Ana County District Attorney is reviewing this case. As of now, the former officers have not been criminally charged. Our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom sat down with Flynn. He says he now has post-traumatic stress, and just the sight of Las Cruces police officers sends him into panic attacks.
One of the officers entered and grabbed me by my right arm, and I started to lose my balance a little bit. That's when they drove me into the cinder block wall. Bent me over, started delivering knee strikes. 2 of them took me, spun me in a 180-degree arc. I was in waist chains. Couldn't put hands up to stop me. I stopped 240 pounds with my face.
Flynn says this all began after repeatedly asking officers to adjust his handcuffs. He'd been complaining since being arrested for a dispute with his neighbor involving a weapon. Flynn is legally handicapped with neck and back issues. After a light kick and a few curse words, the officers bolted in. Since the attack, he says he now lives in fear of police.
The whole thing's been very painful. I used to have a lot of respect for local police, no matter where I was. In this case, I feel I was ambushed. All my rights were violated.
We could learn by the end of this month if the officers who were fired will face criminal charges.
It is 6:08 and we are looking at our TxDOT traffic cameras at I-10 and Joe Battle. You could see over the far east side, things pretty quiet at this time. No problems to report. Of course, we'll keep an eye on things and let you know if anything changes.
Well, just in time for Memorial Day weekend, some new attractions are heading to Wet n Wild Water World.
Expansion and this new area, it was just under $2 million.
But will the city's new splash pads cause some competition for the water park? What they had to say.
And a state of emergency has been declared in California as crews are racing to clean up a hazardous oil spill. We'll have the very latest on that situation.
And could we see any rain tonight? Meteorologist Crystal Clay has your detailed forecast. Crystal.
We'll talk about those chances of rain by checking in on your latest future track model after the break.
Thanks so much, Crystal. This is ABC7, where news comes first.